throne sits empty. The dragon fire's cold, unlit, and from every corner, darkness grows. Now, ancient enemies band together.
It's probably one of the biggest pre-E3 announcements, but the Elder Scrolls is going online and is going MMO. And you actually visited the studio to have a look at the game.
Yeah, I went to Baltimore to visit Cinemax online studio, and yeah, we saw some stuff from the Elder Scrolls Online. Some of it was good, and some of it was regular MMO stuff. But
so it has to be said that usually when these kinds of games are announced and we are invited to see it, it's very limited what we get to see. But you saw a couple of big points about the game, the combat system. You heard something about the factions and a bit of everything. But let's start out with the combat system. Is this the Skyrim way of fighting in the game, or is it more of a traditional MMO?
It's more of a traditional MMO, I think. They've tried to implement some of the block system, some dodging, but it's not as active as it is in Skyrim. It's more calculated, and it has to be in an MMO because, or else it's going to be unbalanced. So more of a traditional MMO.
But you mentioned something about some teamwork.
If you're a group and you're fighting an enemy or several enemies, you can work together and then earn more XP and better loot. It's called finesse, the finesse points, and if you earn these finesse points, you will get more and more XP and loot.
So give us an example.
An example could be that maybe the warrior throws some oil on the ground, and the sorcerer, the wizard, stuff like that, set it on fire, and then enemies burn, and then you get finesse points.
Okay.
So it's encouraging people to play together instead of just going solo.
Okay. About the story, the world, of course, is the one we know from the previous Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, it's the whole continent of Tamriel, so it's a huge world, and we get Skyrim, we get Cyrodiil, we get Morrowind, all the old, from the old games. Small adjustments. Skyrim isn't exactly like Skyrim is in the single player game, but it's still Skyrim. You can tell from Riften, the city is in the game, and it looks approximately the same, but it has to be said, this game is taking place 1,000 years before Skyrim. So
the usual excuse.
They can do whatever they want. So
okay. So probably the most defining point about all the Elder Scrolls games is the freedom. The freedom to explore, to do pretty much everything you want, and just mess around with people and creatures and stuff like that. Is that also possible in the new game?
You can't go everywhere. You can go there are 3 factions in the game, and they each have a zone that you can't leave. So if you're a Nord, for example, you can go in Skyrim, and I think the northeastern part of Tamriel. But if you want to go to Somerset Isles in the southwest, you have to pick another race and another faction. So you can go everywhere, but they still have this this element of exploring.
And there's no interaction between the different groups?
You have the PvP, which takes place in Cyrodiil, the game world of Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and 3 factions fighting over strongholds, capture points, stuff like that, and it looks good with these 3 factions.
So from the sparse information that you got while seeing the game, is there anything that you already can say this will define the Elder Scrolls MMO compared to many of its biggest oppositions, like for instance Guild Wars 2, Terra, World of Warcraft?
Well, they got the lore. It's a huge amount of lore in the Elder Scrolls, so they got the story straight. I think it seemed like that, and Yeah, I think the PvP is probably one of the things, because you have this PvP section with the 3 factions. It looks cool, and you can destroy strongholds, castles, and then you have to rebuild them. So it's a huge amount. There's a huge amount of cooperation between within the faction. So I think the PvP will probably be one of the things defining it and making it stand out.
And of course, you are a big fan of the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Was this the sort of game that you just knew instantly when you saw it that you were going to play?
I want to say I want to say yes, but not yet. I think I hope to see more that can convince me. But I just recently played Terra, and I was really impressed with the combat system. And I don't know if the Elder Scrolls Online will get the same feeling. It doesn't seem like it, but they can change things. It's still maybe a year before launch, a year and a half. I don't know. 2013. So
it's a huge team working on it. So
yeah,
a lot of stuff can
it's
happen.
several hundreds of people. So yeah, they can change things. They probably will.
Unlikely alliances are forged, old ambitions rekindled, and as enemies rise faster than allies, salvation cannot come from one hero alone.